Hey everyone, RemanX here with the day you guys have finally been waiting for, a rework to Nobu, Kingpin, Green Goblin, and Taskmaster on the way to make room for this Underworld team. So, the questions we're going to be answering here are, is this team worth bringing up? How are they going to fit on your roster, and what are they expected to do? So let's start with the basics, right? This team is a long time coming. A lot of us are looking at the bottom of our rosters and see these guys with bio and mystic gear needing to be brought up potentially to make this work. Now the thing about this is predominantly a war offense team. So let's go ahead and we're going to review the character list. So Green Goblin gets a nice stat increase. He's going to be able to do a bonus damage up to 980% damage from his special attack to targets in stealth. And then specifically with the 50% damage per positive effect. So designed to potentially target characters like Darkhold. And we're going to go into this common theme where they are being positioned as a potential Darkhold counter. But I'm going to tell you, I strongly doubt it. And the reason is, we're taking a team like Darkhold, which is blue 4 invested, G16 for most of us, and a team that's only going to be used for war offense, and trying to match this up. So this is the problem. Some pretty cool new abilities here, but I doubt that most of you will decide to bring this up. Again, there are going to be some callouts to the Spider-Verse. It's going to be a very common theme here. We're going to talk about the Spider-Verse tags that may be missing from the game right now and may be added later. So we'll start with this. So instead of it being random attacks, it's up to 6 targets. And then you'll see the positive effect, and again, specifically calling out if they don't have safeguard. So remove 1 positive effect from characters, so you're potentially able to remove a positive effect from Dormammu against Dormholds. On spawn, apply defense down for 2 turns, the enemy with the most resistance. And again, war offense, mission negative ally, you get the defense down on all enemies. And then 2 turns if they're mystic. Okay? And so you'll see the bonus armor here. And again, we do have, a lot of summons coming on the field. The summons are going to be kind of, the thematic way that they have the Underworld. They're using their pawns against you. And the summons themselves have gotten some nice bonuses. Taskmaster himself will be able to assist his Underworld allies. More importantly, gets a lot of bonuses here that he is now a war offense and defense character, and gets the speed fill with being on war. So it's definitely a huge difference. Bonus focus to apply blind and heal block to all targets in war, and basically it's a very, very, very nice bonus for him. And you can see the passive has now been increased to call out the Underworld, where it was specifically Mercenary with some definite bonuses here. So a total of 55% bonus damage, where before it was where he was only gaining 15% damage. So a nice sizable damage increase for him as well in war. And so Kingpin, his middling armor stat now replaces his 0 armor. So he's a lot better in that regard. And so he has a very unique feature where if he has barrier, okay, if he has barrier with his passive, okay, he is going to apply speed up to himself and all Underworld, all summon Underworld allies. So very unique. It's definitely something we're gonna look at with the fact that he does have this potentially on his safety. But we'll definitely look at this because it's the bonus crit here is going to help him with the barrier. He might be the first fortifier out there. We'll have to double check. So specifically, if you guys notice here, you're going to see that there are some callouts to some increases for the Mercenary Bodyguard and other summons. It's only for the summons, not for any other kits in the game. So you'll see that more reliable assists from this team. So tons of assists. This is going to be a lot of bonus damage attacking through that regard, and the summons themselves have some pretty nifty abilities that they can survive. So you'll see that there's a bunch of speed fill by default based on the attacks here. Bonus focus is so they really won't have much because many of the abilities that are going to be utilized in this potential matchup are going to be be done in that regard. So, from a design perspective, you're going to see that Nobu, with his bonuses, hits like a truck. And the most important thing about this is to remember what he does with his passive, which is, the bonus revive is just thematically there. I don't think it's something that you're going to rely on ever. But more importantly, you're going to see the crit chance and stealth provides crit damage. So counter and stealth are bonuses that provide additional value based on this, providing them with exceptional damage potential. So it's very important to understand when to use the crit and the counter, right? The counter and then apply stealth, right? So pretty cool. With rogue abilities, we'll get into those later. And we talk about Mr. Negative. So elephant in the room here, we have some footage, not showcasing them in the best light because it isn't a simple one shot. Now the idea is they've been built that they can potentially punch across against a Darkhold team, if not be the preferred, potential sack team to be able to take them out. All that being said, my recommendation is I do things that you don't have to, and we're going to see how they perform when we do with them, take them through a series of tests. I haven't tested them. These are not characters that I've played, and so I'm not comfortable saying that they're going to be a Darkhold counter, even when built in a mirror. And remember, guys, to be able to match them up in the way that we're seeing them in power means that you're talking about G16 and Blue 4 on a team that's predominantly war offense. So most people won't justify that. Unless you're not seeing that in war, then maybe you could bring these team up. Now, I will say that Mr. Negative and specifically potentially Green Goblin. So Mr. Negative currently doesn't have the Spider-Verse tag, but there may be some discussions on adding that down the road. Stay tuned. That's a question that was asked. He is pretty much heavily featured in the Spider-Verse, and that would allow him to potentially be the new Spider Weaver third, our fourth member, and a fifth member could potentially be somebody like Green Goblin, etc., to help make that team really exceptionally dangerous in Crucible. So all these things allow us to kind of understand that I don't see most people building these characters until we get a really clear idea of maybe there's a secret strategy to make sure that this is reliably a counter. But I'll have to put some effort into building them up. So probably put them around G15, see if I can punch up in some of the wars that we have. We'll do a bunch of live testing when Mr. Negative comes out. But until then, I don't see a real need, except unless you're in the top war brackets and can afford the Blue 4s, to make this team potentially just a sack team for an already potentially solved Darkhold. We'll see. They definitely seem like they have all the tools on there, but there's RNG involved in how that kit works. So definitely something we'll have to look and see for the future. So see you soon.